Manish Kumar, VSM, sir. Mrs. Vandana Kumar, ma'am. Shri Shankarrao Nalode, sir. Lieutenant Colonel Ranjit Singh Nalode, sir. Yoddhaa faculty and our Yoddhaa cadets. It is my absolute privilege and honor to stand before you today as we gather here to welcome a true hero among us. Today, we have a rare opportunity to host someone who embodies courage, discipline, and an unwavering commitment to our nation. An individual who has not only dedicated his life to safeguarding our country but also served as an inspiration to us all. Now, I would like to call Cadet Shlok Chodia to introduce our today's chief guest, Brigadier Manoj Kumar, VSM. Cadet Shlok, please come on.
In all terrains with about 2,000 hours of flying experience. Sir has commanded an air defense regiment from the year 2008 to 2011 and an independent air defense brigade from the year 2017 to 2020. He has been General Staff Officer at Integrated Headquarters of Ministry of Defense, Colonel Quartermaster of an Infantry Division, Colonel Army Air Defense at Command Headquarters, Brigadier Air Defense at Integrated Headquarters of Ministry of Defense, and Brigadier General Staff at the Army Air Defense College. Sir has also been awarded Vishishta Seva Medal and various other honours. Sir has assumed the appointment of Commandant, Army Air Defense Central on 28 June 2023. He is also the Station Commander of Gopalpur Military Station. Today, we are also blessed to have amongst us Mrs. Vandana Kumar ma'am, who has been a renowned educationalist for the last 22 years and a specialist in early child education. Today, we feel blessed and privileged to be bestowed with the words of wisdom from such an esteemed personality. Jai Hind, sir. For further proceedings, I would like to call Cadet Tanishka. Cadet Tanishka, please.
Thank you, Cadet Shlok. Now, to honor our guest, I would like to request Lieutenant Colonel Ranjit Singh Nalode, sir, to present a token of appreciation to respected Brigadier Manoj Kumar, VSM.
Wow.
Thank you, sir. It is both an honor and a privilege on behalf of everyone present here. I most respectfully request Lieutenant Colonel Ranjit Singh Nalode, sir, to welcome our today's chief guest.
Yes, sir. Respected Honorable Brigadier Manoj Kumar, sir, ma'am, Shri Nalode, sir, members of my faculties, and my dear Yoddhaa. How's the Josh?
Hi, sir!
Indeed a privilege for me to sit aside such a revered soldier, gentleman, and such a senior personality from my corps, that is our Corps of Army Defense. I have had privilege, I would say an absolute privilege, to serve with him. And my bad luck was that I couldn't serve under him, but I did serve with him formidable years of my life before I put up my uniform in Delhi Army Headquarters. and sir was heading the operational branch of our Army Defence, and I used to watch him regularly, daily from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and further interactions thereon. And I have, sir may not have registered that, I have noted each and every point, the way he used to interact, the way he used to think, the way he used to strategize the operational part along with other streams of the Army, Navy, Air Force, the way he used to put up across his points. And we both of us under him, we were serving under General Goswami, who is our mentor also. That journey of 2 years taught me so much that whenever I used to feel like taking some advices, going up to and walking up to and discussing points, I would just used to walk in there. As you can relate, like you used to feel like when you come across to my cabin, you must be thinking 10 times, you must be asking somebody whether I should go there or no. Then you must be making up your mind, and then you must be walking and knocking at my door. Same thing happens when a Lieutenant Colonel walks into a Brigadier's office. I will definitely think 10 times, and I will construct my sentences, and then I will walk into Sir's office. But once you enter inside, it was like it's like meeting my mentor. Just to put across, Sir has been from an aristocratic family. He has studied in a wonderful school. The best part is, other week you went to National Defence Academy, everybody?
Yes, sir.
He is alumnus of National Defence Academy, and he is here in Pune to attend get-together of his course. He is alumnus of Indian Military Academy. Generally when your parents, they come to me, they all think that being in army is like picking up a gun and going at border and then start firing at terrorists or Pakistanis. That is not what army is all about. The defense process is about technology, it is about strategies, it is about tactics, it is about using your brain, mind and physical ability against the severest of the odds. And your brain should start tickling when you are at the toughest situation. And your each decision, each thing you decide upon is going to cost either a life or the thing about your nation. He has been a soldier, he was commissioned into Army Air Defence. From there he went into flying branch. And then, as you see, he has had about 2,000 hours of flying experience. So it is like a soldier. I mean, when we as a cadet we commission into armed forces, we do one anti-terrorist operational tenure. We are part of our own corps where we are expert in, and then he has been into aviation also. He's a pilot. Post that he came back to Army Air Defence Wing and then commanded a regiment, commanded a brigade, and he was at helm of affairs when the most challenging phase where the air defense was to be planned against the drone attack, and he headed our wing. And what we will see in next 20 years for air defense against drone attacks will be all would have been designed by him. So give him a huge round of applause. I dare not say, sir, I am very proud of you. It is an absolute privilege being there, sir. And why I am telling you all these things? Because many of the times you have come from certain background and we subject you to many things which you have not seen earlier. We subject you to technical aspects of life, we subject you to physical aspects of life, we subject you to personality development aspects of life. फिर सुबह आओगे तो physics की class चलती है. Then you say, what is this chemistry about? And then you think about these personalities that they have excelled in their career. Anybody, let me tell you a very, very point blank. Anybody at that time who has joined National Defence Academy has been in a base brain in the country. When he served commission into National Defence Academy, that era was the best in the country is to join National Defence Academy. So when you think about challenges in life, you must think about this personality as a challenge, as an inspiration. That he joined in as a soldier, he's been to the best of the academies, joined as a soldier, joined into technical arm like Army Air Defense, went and do 2000 hours of flying, and came back and he was instructor to the Air Force and Army Aviation cadets and officers. Came back and did the regiment, did the brigade. So much of responsibility, so much of task, and so much of a capable human being performing so many duties. And he's human, so if he can do it, you can very well do it. So tomorrow, if I tell you to go and appear for A exam, which is technology oriented, or appear for B exam, where your physical ability is being tested, or be part of C world, where your personality is being tested, just think of this. Our honorable Brigadier sir, and you will say, okay, I have been guided by or motivated by such a personality. He did it, I will definitely do it. That's what I want to bring across to you all. Esteemed teachers, when you train your student, please think of a personality like him and dream that all your students reach that pinnacle of their life in their times to come. So the building blocks should have been developed by now under your benign guidance. Let me tell you, the role of an army lady is very different than what we see in civilian diaspora. The lady has to take care of the wives of the jawans and officers who are under their command. And let me tell you, it is not an easy task at all. They come from various backgrounds, social background and diaspora. They have different cultures, educational background, social background. So we all have to look after a soldier who is uniformed and trained uniformly. There is a homogeneity. But to deal with the families and their kids, and to look after them, understand their issues, and align them to their husband to serve to the country, that is the kind of honest task ma'am has been doing for last so many years. And you can see when at the young age must be looking after 150 families. Then as a wife of a colonel, she has looked after more than 800 to 1000 families. Then as a brigadier, make it into 3, and then now at center you make it into another 8 to 10. That is a number of families she interacts, she manages, and guide them along. There is no work in that. It is sense of self-satisfaction, sense of selflessness, and it's a service to the nation, a pure selfless service to the nation. Let me tell you, while doing that, I mean, the teachers and families will agree with me. Even if you have to spend 1 hour more than your duties, you always feel like I have spent 1 hour. 1 hour of my family life went for X, Y, Z reason. Just imagine a lady who spends hours and hours together looking after the officers, their families, and the jawans and their families. That is the kind of selfless task a man has been doing for years together. And boys and girls, that's what the army life is all about. That we all grow together, we all take care of each other, and ma'am has been doing that for years. That is the reason he is where he is. So let us have a huge round of applause for Mrs. Yoddhaa. Ma'am, we are so proud and so privileged to have you around here. Let me tell you, she is a fantastic educationalist. She has been into the best of the schools, studying in best of the schools, was faculty in best of the schools in Dehradun, and somehow I am, pushing that idea of creating her own, so that when she comes out, that there is something that ma'am creates of her own. Why? Because children and the next generation should benefit from education of such kind. So welcome sir, welcome ma'am to the small little, this world of my humanoids who are going to be scholars, who are going to be warriors, and budding talent to serve their country. Welcome sir, welcome ma'am. Can I request you sir to guide my kids and my activities. Thank you.
dear Yoddhas, I should call you. And very good evening to the faculty who is present here, to the ladies who are here, your teachers who are here. Firstly, let me tell you that I'm overwhelmed with the kind of reception I got here, with the kind of words of praise which Ranjit spoke for me. So Ranjit, a great thank you to you. It's a privilege to meet your dad here, and you know, his guidance is evident in this school. So thank you, sir, for being here and spending time with us. I'm also overwhelmed with the kind of reception you gave me and to my wife, and I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm also very, you know, very surprised and quite impressed by the kind of facilities that you have here. So let me start by telling you that you are actually very privileged to be in an environment like this. You know, all of us don't get this opportunity. I have handled schools, I have handled institutions, I have seen the kind of struggle children have in remote areas and where facilities are not available. So be very thankful for your parents who've been able to send you here. I've seen the facilities around, I've seen the infrastructure around, and I'm greatly impressed. You know, I'm heading the Air Defence Center where we are, you know, training Agniveers, and the kind of facilities which I see here, that's a government institute. Army has got great deal of resources, great deal of monetary, you know, strength. But the kind of resources and the facilities which I see here match those. So let me start by telling you that you should be extremely thankful to God to be studying in an institute like this. I know I am between you and your dinner, probably. So, and you've been waiting here for long, all of you. And you know, dinner, food is always more dearer than some words of an old man who's standing in front of you. So I'll try and keep it short, and I'll try and keep it crisp. And whenever you get bored, please, those boys in there, please raise your hand and then I'll stop, okay? So firstly, I just few pointers I want to talk to you about the experience which I've gained over these 35 years in the Indian Army, almost 40 years. So let me tell you a few things. Firstly, it's this myth about talent, this myth about effortlessness. You know, I think in the long run, hard work and discipline will always beat talent. There were some extremely talented and extremely bright and extremely intelligent officers or compatriots with me. But as I see back, those who were methodical, those who were disciplined, they may not have been that intelligent, they may not have been brilliant, but they were diligent, they were methodical, they were hardworking, they were disciplined. So remember, nothing comes easy. So when you say no, Vinod calmly used to play effortlessly. Sandeep Tendulkar plays, you know, as if he's not worked hard enough. It comes so natural to him. Nothing comes natural. Nothing comes without great deal of effort. So what is hidden is the large amount of hours which have been put in by the successful people. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, the hours which you put on a desk, the hours which you put in the morning, in the evening, are the ones which will hold you high instead. Also remember, you know, I was just reading through some statistics the other day. Roger Federer has played about 1024 matches, singles matches, and he's won about 900 of them, which is almost an 85% win rate for Roger Federer. You know Roger Federer? one of the greatest stars of tennis. But how many points has he won? In those 900 matches which he has won, which is 85% of matches which he has won, the number of points which he has won is about only 54% of points. So remember, each and those 54% of the points won by him gave him about 90% of victory rate or success rate. So it is the small things which matter. It is the everyday, each point is important. Each exam or each day which you spend wasting or otherwise is important. Probably it will not the big things which are important. Big things will take care of themselves if these small things have been taken care of by you. You will crack the ND exam if week wise or day wise or month wise you plan yourself well. So 54% winning points gave him 90% of the matches. And the good part about points is that once you played a point and have won it or lost it, you go on to the next point. So, if adversity has happened, if you failed in a point or if you lost a point, you can quickly go on to the next point. And forget the point which you lost or wasted or the exam which you didn't pass or the success which you didn't get. So this brings me to the next point I wanted to talk to you about is about perseverance, is about grit. Again, it will be not be the wildly brilliant guy who will win. It will be the guy who can grind himself to the ground. And let me tell you, I'm digressing and talking a bit about myself. I am the one of those people who are the extremely talented guys. I don't want to speak about myself too much, but studies come very naturally to me. I was a NTSC scholarship. In our times, there used to be something called National Talent Search Foundation, NTSC. I was an NTSC scholarship holder from class 9th. I'm a 90% in class 10th, way back in 84, 85. I have taught all my courses and I don't need to work very hard. But again, remember, that is not a good model. Talent will take you to a certain limit, and after that, always hard work will beat talent. So, to people for whom things come easy are the ones who will generally not be too successful. So, understand that you can appreciate the heat of a heater or a blanket only if you suffered cold winter nights. So if you've seen adversity, if you've seen failure, if you've seen, challenges, then only you will appreciate and become a more successful person. That is where comes the issue of grit, determination, perseverance, resilience. You will fail. Always you will fail. There is nobody in this world who has been a success overnight. I mean, there can be only very few such a Tendulkars in this world. And probably he would have also failed many a times. So remember that it is how you bounce back from a failure, how much resilience and grit you can show. You will fail in some ND exams. You will not qualify NEET in the first go. I am told that there are 25-30 NEET students here. Probably you will get 350 marks or 400 marks in the first attempt. Probably you will flunk the ND exam once, maybe even twice. But what do you learn from that failure? I have seen that, and it's not. These are few things I have understood in my life. I want to share those experiences with you. The fourth thing which I wanted to talk to you about is the kind of discipline. I can make out that this is an institute which is run like a army, Fauji institute, like an army establishment. So the very fact of getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth in time, doing some exercise, making your bed is as critical as putting in those hard work, years on your table, or studies, or hours on the table. Personal discipline. Discipline is of so many varieties. It could be financial discipline. It could be physical discipline, that you run, you exercise every day. It could be personal habits. Integrity. Do you kind of fib your way through? Do you kind of take issues of morality very, very loosely? So discipline, day-to-day discipline in your habits, in your eating, in your daily life, in your physical routine. If you are disciplined and moderate, you will naturally find that you are disciplined in your studies also, that you are able to put in those hours also. It's a habit. Remember, it's a habit. Laziness is a habit. I read a book the other day called The Myths of Normal. It has become normal to be ordering Swiggy, ordering Zomato, being on mobiles, studying at night, getting up late, not running, not exercising. All this has become normal. That's what my child also, he sleeps late. He says, normal papa, we study late at night. It's a myth. Old-fashioned traditional values of discipline is what army is what army is based on. Our foundation is that. When I was in my flying days, the morning briefing, whenever you go for flying in the morning, the briefing happens at about, you are briefed in the morning. There's a meteorological briefing, there's a day briefing, who's flying where, and some emergencies are discussed. In Northeast, when the sun rises early, the morning briefing would happen at 4:30 in the morning. For that, I would get up every day at 3:30 in the morning. When I was in the Air Force Academy, flying used to happen in two shifts, because the same aircraft used to fly. There were 40 or 45 HPT aircraft there. Same 45 would fly in the morning shift. Instructors and students would change, and the same 45 aircraft would fly till last line. So the aircraft would start flying from first line and keep flying till last line. So when we had morning flying, so you had morning flying 1 week and evening flying 1 week. So when you had morning flying, the morning briefing used to be at 3 o'clock. For that, we would wake up at 2 o'clock. I think the cadets would wake up even earlier. 3:30 was the first briefing, so that 2 hours it took for briefing because they were cadets, and so that at 5 o'clock, as the sun rose, the first aircraft took off. Because there were 40 aircraft lying behind him, 40 aircraft, because 40 instructors were flying with 40 cadets, and you had to meet 10,000 hours of flying per year in the Air Force Academy, where I had the privilege of being an instructor. That can only happen if everybody is disciplined, if everybody is synchronized. And there was no mercy for anybody who did not meet the rigors of that kind of life. You flew one sortie bad, you were given a warning, you were lackadaisical in second sortie, you went home. Your flying career ended in 2 sorties. So that uncompromising, relentless was the training there. Nobody talked about Zomato and Swiggy and Papa and Mama and telephone. There was no time for it. There was no time for being mollycoddled. Okay, so my wife is saying that it's a monologue. So I can go on and on about discipline. It's one of my favorite topics, unfortunately. One thing I want to talk to you last before we leave, and I don't want to take too much of your time, is about social media. So this is a topic again close to my heart. Please, for God's sake, use the good points of social media and neglect the bad points. Neglect the time wasting. Neglect the automaton we will become by reading stupid WhatsApp forwards and the amount of time we'll spend in chatting on Facebook, Instagram. If I was you, and Ranjit is much more wiser, and I talk about Ranjit at the end of my speech, he's much more wiser. I would have really severely restricted your smartphones. I don't know whether you have smartphones or don't have smartphones. Not allowed. So I'm so happy, I'm so glad. Because what I see today is humongous amount of wastage of time on Instagram and Snapchat and Facebook and WhatsApp, and I am culprit. So I'll tell you another thing. I used to read a book a week. Very voracious. I used to love to read. And I would finish a book a week. And probably last 2-3 years I have read one book a year. It's so sad. And depth of knowledge lies in detailed and deep reading and not in WhatsApp forwards. And not on stupid 4-liners on the Facebook, and not on some Instagram chat which gives you a superficial, understanding of a subject. So if you want to understand a subject, please pick up a book, please go to the library, or please utilize social media and internet for the betterment. Download an article, download a book, download an ebook, download some good articles on that and read through the article. Please follow that when you go on your leave and on your breaks and all. If this is a mobile free zone, and I'm so happy this is a mobile free zone and a smart free zone, please follow that up in your daily life also. Please pick up a book. Books are so good. They improve your diction, they improve your vocabulary, they improve your thought process, they improve your knowledge, they improve your wisdom. So these are the few things I wanted to talk to you about, and before I overstay my welcome on the dais, I want to talk to you about the chairman of the school, Ranjit. So he's spoken such good words about me. Let me reciprocate by talk to you about Ranjit, So Ranjit is extremely understanding. Your chairman, your principal, or the person who heads this institute is extremely understanding. He's extremely intelligent, extremely focused, very methodical, extremely hardworking. And it's not easy to start an institute like this from scratch. I think he started this place from scratch about 5, 6, 7 years back. 3 years back. So from 3 years, I know him since last 3-4 years. So when he started, there were some 10, 15, 20 students. And now I see 300 boys and girls here, and all doing so well, and all getting tuned in the army way. So his skills to manage and to bring up this institution from zero to such a lovely campus, it's an absolute privilege and honor to speak to you boys and girls, to the institute which he has built. And it speaks volumes of the kind of hard work and tenacity and methodical diligence which he has delivered in these 3 years. And I think you all are extremely privileged and lucky and successful. Lucky to be here. So these are a few things I wanted to talk to you about. I can go on, and my children say this is my favorite. Gitanjali. Oh. So Mrs. Ranjit, extremely charming, gracious, but behind that charm is a rod of iron, a rod of absolute strength behind her. She told my wife many years back that she is not risk averse. And unless there is risk in life, and unless you take a chance, probably then. And so this is another lesson of life. Another lesson. At this age, please give yourself chances. Please take steps at this stage which will enhance, which are outside your comfort zone. It is very easy to stay in a block of a comfort zone. I am, in the top 10% of my class, and I will go and start doing this, that. I will go to a second-rate engineering college and I will become a small engineer and I will start earning 20,000 rupees. It is so easy to fall in this comfort zone. But please work out of this box of comfort zone. You can do it now. Because you are starting your careers. You can explore, you can take risks, you can take chances. Mrs. Ranjit, Gitanjali, she may be, it's to guess a lady's age, she is maybe 40 or the other side of 40. At that age, she is ready to take chances and risks. He was in a very, very superb job in the Indian Army. I mean, he had a long career ahead of him, many years to serve. It was such a great comfort zone. In the army, once you become a lieutenant colonel or anything above that, your basic needs are taken care of. Always there's a beautiful house for you, there are men working for you, you will get a vehicle for yourself, your salary will come at the end of the month without any bit. There's not a great deal of, you're expected to do your work. So there's a great deal of comfort. And he was in his great comfort zone, and as was Mrs. Ranjit. But this is left out of the comfort zone. So always challenge yourselves. And so there's a life learning lesson from each one of us. Let me tell you about a story. I was flying in the northeast. I was flying in Nagaland. And there was a isolated post called Technopal. Technopal is on the border of China, Myanmar and India. It used to take 7 days for a person that time to reach that post. That post had 70 men, 4-5 JCOs and 1 officer. If that officer climbed that post in January, he was only replacing Major. That post had nothing but a few tents. It was a hilly post at a great deal of altitude. It was air maintained. All the rations used to be dropped from there. So it was in the middle of a jungle on the tip where Myanmar meets India meets China. So you can imagine the isolation of that post. You can imagine there was no TV, there was no light, there was a generator which would run for 2-3 hours at night. There was no music, there was no papers, there was no radio, nothing. Imagine, and there was all the time chance of Naga militants attacking you anytime. So danger of life, day in and day out. So imagine the isolation that post can create in a person. So I was doing, it was a clearance helipad, since it was at height, it was a small helipad, it had to be cleared by a qualified flying instructor. I was the student, I had just started flying, and me and my instructor, he was clearing me on that helipad. So whenever you go to a helipad like that, you carry, since you're going from reasonable habitat civilization, you used to carry old papers. You used to carry 6 months old papers, 1 year old papers. You used to carry magazines which were 1 year old. We would carry some cigarettes, we would carry some toffees, some sweets, some tobacco for them. So as we landed on this helipad, we did 2 circuits, landed on the helipad. This officer came. He had spent 7 months without relief on that post. And he came and sat down in the aircraft and he said, "Sir, 7 months, I have not read a paper for 7 months, as if this newspaper which is coming to me is news to me, though this news is 1 year old or 2 years old, but this is great news to me. And thank you, sir, for bringing this newspaper which was 8 months old for him." So imagine the adversity. From that post, that officer cleared his next exam. He studied in that post without electricity, without any means of communication. He cleared his next exam. And that officer, now he's a senior officer in the Indian Army. So imagine the adversity. Imagine the kind of resilience. Imagine the kind of strength you require if you need to be successful in life. And here, if you don't get one meal or if your breakfast is late, so understand that if you don't get a meal in time, if the breakfast is not as hot, or if the eggs are not, super buttery, or if the dal is not super nicely made, or is not nicely fried, well, these are very small things. I have lived on a post where you've eaten powdered egg and powdered milk for months. No fresh, no mutton, no chicken, just tinned food and powdered eggs for months. So thank yourselves that you are in an environment which is very, very comfortable. Things could have been much, much worse. And things were much, much worse. Things are still much, much worse. So understand the privilege which you have here of staying in this, such pristine environment, such clean atmosphere, such absolute luxury, absolute comfort, having such a great faculty, having, all our needs and cares taken care of. Imagine the hopes and aspirations of your parents which are attached to this. I have sent my children to study in various schools, and we only know how to met those expenses. So the money or the resources which your parents are spending upon you, with that is linked a lot of hard work and a lot of aspiration of your parents. So whenever you think of, cribbing, or you think of this is not good and I will not study here and I will not do this, or the studies are getting too much for me, or this is boring, think of the sacrifices and think of the kind of effort your parents are doing, and think of the kind of dreams which they have for you, and think of the kind of effort which they have done to send you here. So on that note I end. I thank you all. I thank the faculty for being patient. I thank Ranjit for hearing me out, and most of all I thank you all for the time which you spent, and for the patience which you had of hearing an old man.
Which is a dinner time.
Which is your dinner time. Okay? So I will not, without much ado, I will stop this here so that you are not, I am between you and your dinner. So thank you and best of luck and Godspeed, and maybe has so many good things about all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your insightful and inspiring speech. Your words have truly resonated with all of us, and we have gained valuable perspectives through your speech. Your expertise and experiences are a great source of inspiration for everyone here. Your speech certainly left a lasting impact on us. Thank you, one and sir. Now I request Cadet Yoddhaa to deliver vote of thanks.
Very good evening to one and all present over here. I, Cadet Yoddhaa, I am present here to give a vote of thanks for today's program. It's an indeed honor and privilege to extend a heartfelt gratitude to Brigadier Manoj Kumar sir, a Vishishta Seva Medal, for gracing this occasion with his presence and sharing valuable insights. Sir, your words has profound wisdom not only enlightened us but also motivated us to strive for excellence, to serve our nation with dedication and pride. Your exemplary leadership and unwavering commitment to duty are a guidepost for inspiration for all of us. On behalf of Yoddhaa Defence Institute, I would like to express sincere thanks for taking your precious time off on your busy schedule. Your presence has truly elevated this event and made it a memorable one. Thank you, sir. I would also like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to respected Mrs. Vandana Kumar ma'am. Her presence esteemed at this occasion. I also would like to express my sincere gratitude to S.R. Nalawade sir for being present here. I also would like to express my sincere gratitude to Lieutenant Colonel Ranjit Singh Nalawade sir for gracing felicitating and for inviting such a versatile personality as our chief guest. Your efforts in inviting and welcoming such an inspirational individual have truly elevated the significance of this event. A special note of appreciation for our dedicated teaching and non-teaching staff who work tirelessly behind the scene to ensure the success of this program. To our talented students, thank you for your active participation and enthusiasm. Thank you so much, everyone. Your presence means a lot of me. As we conclude, let us carry forward the lessons learned and memories created. Thank you, everyone. Jai Hind.